Welcome to Eco Retirement. Today we're going to talk about what it looks like to embrace an eco-based lifestyle through a financial lens. Let me make sure I'm sharing my screen. Share screen, share screen. Okay, says my screen share stop. Let's pause. Okay, like that. All right, so we are back. Embracing eco lifestyle. So the philosophy is early retirement can be a sustainability tool, and this is how. So first things first, I have a set of financial tools that I use each month to budget out my money, purchase my tracking, counting your blessings ledger, aka tracking income, monthly groceries, meal planning, the cost to cook, income tracking, lifestyle budgeting, and self-investment ROI, tracking the cause and effect of the purchases on yourself. What is sustainable retirement? Sustainable retirement is an eco-friendly lifestyle that involves making choices that reduce your environmental footprint and increases the money in your pockets. It means living in a way that is below your means and mindful of the planet at the same time. Conserving resources, minimizing waste, and promoting sustainability in the daily activities. Okay, and this is not a real chart. However, with time, I will be putting some real data in here. However, this will be data about early retirement. So what are the average ages that people usually retire? And I'm going to talk about how retirement can look as early as 25 and even younger. Okay, how much? So, first things first, and this is so draft. Okay, y'all are getting the rough draft of everything. I was just very excited to share this with you all because my friend had suggested that I get to share it because it was so well written. I was like, yeah, you're right. So, you'll see this and other things. But anyway, the content is more important. First step, add up all the money you spent this month to determine your current cost of living and the current cost of your lifestyle. Add up all the money you spent this month or the previous month. Just you want the whole month to look at. So if this month is not done, start on last month. Then categorize what was a fixed expense and what was a variable expense. So what was something that you have to pay regularly, and then what was something that was based on the situation. Okay, the fixed expenses mean they're consistent, and variable means they're inconsistent expenses. This will help determine the cost of your current lifestyle. Step two is after determining variable and fixed expenses, determine which are needs and wants. Are part of your fixed expenses subscriptions? Are those subscriptions a need or a want? Are those fixed expenses memberships? Are those a need or want? Okay. Are your fixed expenses bills? What are those bills and are they needs or wants, etc.? And then for me, I determine fixed expenses as well. I determine a need because you also want to be able to differentiate what is a need for you and what is a want for you. And I definitely suggest using a universal concept to determine and define what a need is. Okay. The universal concept for a need to take care of your human body is food, water, shelter. Okay, those are three things. You need those. Those pretty universal. It's basically law. And the shelter, clothing, transportation, those are all needs. Anything that's needed to nourish your human body so that you can think straight and be healthy on a science basic level. So define your needs, define your wants. I highly recommend, like I said, to use the universal definition of a need. Okay, anything else outside of that is a want. And so understanding what a need is and what a want is, you can start to see when things come in your life, such as gifts, it can be a blessing because sometimes the situation calls for taking care of just your needs for that period of time until you're able to take care of another want, you know? So, yes, for example, foundations for me is being able to take care of my needs and then addition to anything that I want financially. Third step, now that you have your needs and wants expenses written down and you know what was a need, what you purchased was a want, all those things, add up the total spent in 1 month on your needs and your wants. So how much did you spend on your needs that month? How much did you spend on your wants that month? This number is how much it costs to cover your needs and your wants. Do you want to maintain this number, decrease, or increase this number? Depends on your financial goals. So, because this is eco retirement, once you've done all that, you did your needs, you did your wants, you did your variable and your fixed expenses, and you've calculated the cost to live from the previous month or the current month once it was complete, you're going to calculate your retirement number. Add up all your monthly expenses and multiply by 12. So you have your number that you just calculated from the last slide. Multiply that number by 12. So needs and wants combined. Okay. Then multiply it by how many years you would want to retire. Now, the standard is to prepare for 20 years, deciding that you are retiring at 60, 70. And then any of the income that's made have been saved, 20 years is what it's going to cover. So, depending on where you are, what stage of life you're at, you might just want to retire for 5 years because you need a break and you want to travel for a little bit and then go back to work. Or you need to retire or take a break from work for 2 years. So maybe you just want to set enough money aside to 2 years to just focus on yourself, think about things, and just live life leisurely. Or maybe you just want to be free or not have to think about work and you decide to set enough income aside for 20 years of no work at maybe 26. And over those 20, after coming into your 26 and you have 20 years of income to take care of yourself, all of that multiplies. Okay, and that's compound interest, and we're going to talk about that. So preparing for 20 years of no work is enough to allow compound interest to triple your retirement savings. Okay, with the right investment strategy, you have your goal number that's going to take care of 20 years. Let's say it's 250,000. times that by whatever investment strategy you have to compound that interest for what you put in, all the money you generated. Okay. So determining your retirement lifestyle costs, it should be about the same to maintain how you're doing now with room for growth. So your retirement number is going to cover your lifestyle costs. Okay. And if you want to expand your lifestyle, ensure that you have your retirement number, make sure it has flexibility for a little bit of life expansion, whether you want to upgrade your house or upgrade your car, calculating the cost to have an upgraded house, the cost to have an upgraded car, what are the monthly expenses on that type of car, post and during and before retirement. Okay. So it's just planning your retirement and knowing what numbers will guarantee a retirement and you can comfortably retire. Third step, this is where you decide what expenses can be cut back. Okay, so you have your retirement number, you know how many years you're going to want to retire, you have an idea on what investment strategy or what tool you can use to create compound interest on your money while it's sitting and growing. You want to start to think about, okay, this is my asset, your retirement number, and all the money you've saved and been investing. How can you preserve it as long as possible? Now, this can be through lifestyle choices. This can be through growing your money, starting another business, going back into work, all those types of things, coming out of retirement, aka. Um, yes. So imagine you get to pay yourself your payout once a month. So you create your own trust fund as someone who's pursuing early retirement. What bills would you want to immediately reduce? What bills would you want to cut back or even increase in order to have more access and flexibility with your monthly payout? This is where lifestyle becomes a sustainable conversation in order to optimize the most of your income. Okay. So before we get to the vehicle, what it looks like to create a sustainable lifestyle during early retirement can look like, okay, so my electricity bill is $200 a month. What would it look like to have an initial high investment into a solar panel that takes care of my electricity, reduces my electricity bill in the long run, and is eco-friendly? How much more money can I save? How much more money can I invest? How much more money can go into my own personal fun things because my needs are taken care of because I invested into a solar panel? So questions like these can help promote an eco retirement, a life where sustainability options are supporting your budget, your pockets, and helping you live more comfortably and secure. Okay, so what is your vehicle to this income? Once you have your retirement number, are you going to pursue a high income job, a business, a skill, an inheritance, a miracle, an internship, investments, lottery, refunds, assistantships, estates, and or entrepreneurships, regular jobs, scholarships, settlements, reparations? That's spelled wrong, but that could come through too. There's a million and one ways and so much abundance in life. How is this retirement number going to come through? Okay, second step, break down your retirement number into the number of years you want to work in your lifestyle budget. And so that goes into the first few slides of how many years do you see yourself taking a break from work, retiring, maybe not going back to work ever, or just having that flexible freedom and financial independence. That is how much to make each year living to reach your retirement number. Okay, so based on your retirement number, how many years do you want to be working to even, how many years is it going to take for you to make your retirement number? So that is why your vehicle is important. Is it going to take you 2 years to make you $350,000 to retire? Is it going to take you 4 years to reach $1 million to retire? Do you need to be a millionaire to retire? Okay, these are questions you need to ask yourself. For some people, maybe they don't need a million. For other people, they may need 5 million. Okay, just depending on your lifestyle. This is why we go through the process of what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Because it's endless, it's abundant. And choosing and deciding what you want or what comes up for you is part of the work. Okay. Because then you understand what you are going towards. You understand what the path is. Is it a path to a million or is it a path to $600,000? How long is it going to take? Do you want to be working for 12 years, 20 years, 15 years to pursue the 1 million or 600,000? And is it through a high income job? Is it through a business, an inheritance, whatever? Third step, determining your lifestyle budget comes with, and this is spelled wrong as well. However, I just want y'all to get this concept. I want y'all to get this concept before this thing sits in my Canva for too long. Okay. Determining your lifestyle budget comes with determining the rate of savings you want to do with your income. The larger your savings rate, the faster you can build towards your retirement number. And the lower your savings rate, the longer it will take. Find the rate of saving pace that works for you. And depending on your stage of life and where you are in your career, you may have that flexibility to do a higher savings rate, and that might be 80% of your income goes into savings and investments, 20% you live off of. Or you're in a different position where you want to do 50% I live off of, and then another 50% goes to savings and investments. That is your choice. And that is part of deciding how long do I want to work? How long would I need to work? What's likely? And just being realistic about the time frame for yourself. So here's an example. Susie Q creates a six-figure vehicle. Okay, she needs 6 figures to retire and not ever have to work again. Okay. She works a 9 to 5, making 50K a year. She does not work 2 years for 6 figures. She works 4 years because she lives on 50% of her income. So because she makes 50K a year, 50K plus 50K is 6 figures. Okay, but because she lives on 50% of her income, it's going to take 4 quarters, okay, to reach her goal. And I'm just in my head doing the math right now. So 50K a year, she lives on 50%. So instead of 50K, she's actually doing 25K. Okay, so that's why it's 4 quarters. Okay, 6 figures to multi-millions. Susie chose a life 25K lifestyle. So she lives on $25,000 a year for 4 years to live a stable $2,000 a month for the rest of her life. Okay. $2,000 a month is consistent for her. She's very comfortable at $2,000 a month. That's what she writing in her little pay stubs to herself. Okay, in her little trust fund. She sent herself $2,000 a month to live on. That's to take care of her needs and her wants. While her six figures, and this is spelled wrong, isn't it? While her six figures compound in at a 4% interest rate, and this is a method that you can read about in the Simple Path to Wealth, um, earning her multi-millions 10 years after she stopped working. Okay, 10 years. So now she's a multi-millionaire. Okay, living with $2,000 a month and on a 4% interest rate. Sustainable retirement, sustainable habits in retirement. She has built a lifestyle to help reduce her expenses, which helped her money become more mature in millions, while also promoting green habits for Earth and her health. So Susie Q has made her space to be eco-friendly by using one reusable paper towels, reusable water bottles, so she doesn't have plastic in her home, reducing costs of having to go buy cases of water bottles on occasion. Long-term wise, that's a long-term investment. Susie Q decided to do that. Or in my favorite example I like to reference is the solar panel that she invested into, or either the rainwater barrel that she uses to water her garden. So that slowly but surely makes an impact on her water bill. And she's eco-friendly with her car. If she wants to go somewhere within a walking distance, she will opt into walking in contrast to driving her car 5 minutes from somewhere. So just the mindset of an eco retirement to reduce your expenses can be sustainable. Framework one, earn six figures, define the challenge of, and this is supposed to be switching to sustainable living on a daily basis. Give an idea to the audience who wants to switch to sustainable living products. Right job, right skills. So creating that income for yourself, whether it is through entrepreneurship or helping someone who is creating a business, such as a job or career or career. The upfront investment for sustainable technologies and products can be prohibitively expensive for many people. And that is why having the right job is so important. Okay. Share knowledge. A significant barrier is the general lack of awareness about what sustainable living can entail and benefits. Again, Mr. Money Mustache blog has a lot of great sustainable resources and tools and things that he practices to help him keep his costs, his lifestyle costs low and still be an early retiree. Design your life. Changing habits and cultural norms can be challenging, as it often require a shift in long-standing behaviors. Okay. And then framework two, to six figures to millions, based on my theory, is saving the correct savings account. The upfront investment, oh yeah, and this is not edited yet. However, savings, money market account, highly recommend savings account with high yield interest rates. That is the foundation of where your bucket is going to be, and compound. Okay. Any tool that's going to compound your income, that is where you want to be. Okay. Budget, determine your lifestyle. So then you're going to want to have a checkings account that has benefits and or credit cards that have benefits, and using your credit cards very strategically, and of course paying them off and things of that nature to reduce debt, because you want to keep as much money in your financial bubble and your financial streams and rivers and all those types of things within your reach and accessibility. Time. You need time to grow an investment portfolio. So doing the research to decide what stocks or mutual funds or bonds you are willing to invest in. Framework 3, sustainable retirement. Is the lifestyle sustainable in promoting eco habits? You have your give back plan because you're going to have a lot more time being retired. And this is the part of thinking, okay, what comes next after retirement and being eco-friendly? What can you look forward to? And securing security and generational wealth and knowing that you've taken care of yourself to a very confident extent, and now you have the space to give back. And that's the blessing in wealth, being able to create security for generations to come and even the people around you. So, how to shop smarter and luxurious. Zero waste doesn't mean producing no trash. It means minimizing waste as much as possible. And that is a great eco-friendly retirement thing to do in a sense of you don't have to rebuy paper towels every single time, which can reduce the cost of living from month to month because you use reusable paper towels and you just wash the ones you have. Or even like Ziploc bags, like you don't have to use the regular plastic Ziploc bags if you're in the mindset of being eco-friendly and reducing the cost of your lifestyle by using something like this where you have to buy it one time and you don't have to keep buying it, which increases your monthly cost. And when you decrease your monthly lifestyle costs, you have more money to grow in investments. Okay, so first point, use reusable shopping bags, containers, and water bottles. Price to switch. And then second point, buy in bulk to avoid packaging and compost food scraps. Okay, those are the things that I keep in mind. So eco-friendly lifestyle choices, gardening, solar panels, composting, buying tools to make things instead of buy things. So I've made some bread and I'm very proud of my bread. So I look forward to making bread instead of buying bread. I have three great ingredients: water, all-purpose flour, and instant yeast versus a bag of bread. Okay, it's eco-friendly and it's less ingredients. Okay, healthier, I want to say, and also that is up for question because I haven't done exact research on that. However, I can say it is healthier for me. Yes. Traveling in groups instead of just driving, everyone taking their separate cars. Hey, would you want to ride with me? Hey, can I ride with you? Okay, keeping that window open as an eco-friendly retiree. Cooking at home, minimalism, that lifestyle, I definitely encourage and approve of, and definitely want to keep in balance, like minimalism and then maximalism, and then understanding where you are on that scale. Increasing plastic-free products, asking before giving or buying, because cycle of resources. If you have something to give away, ask that person before you give it to them because maybe they may not want it or need it, but because you're giving it to them, they may take it and just add clutter to their own space. So, how am I raising my hand right now? Um, Interesting. So, let me make sure my mic is still on. With that, that goes into a book I was reading called The Magic of Tidying. And it is a blessing to give. And also, you want to give to people who want to receive the gift. Okay, who wants that thing. And it makes it even more special. Reusing old things, repairing things. I definitely practice that with my belt I had recently. It broke and then I fixed it and then it broke again. And I was like, I really love this belt and I don't have the energy to fix it. So I just gave it away to the trash. Okay. Knowing when to repair things and then knowing when it's time to let go of things. So two different practices that come with being eco-friendly retiring. Take care of what you have and cooking at home, yes. And next slide. Highlight the alternatives to reduce plastic waste. Resources to learn more about sustainable habits is Less is Now Netflix, Plastic is Fertility, Buy More, Tidying Up. It's a great resource because it is easy to collect clutter in a space, and the magic of sustainability and being tidy and aware of resources is being able to give it to people who are actively looking for those resources, and then also being able to receive those resources when you need them or want them in a very special and divine way, because that can happen where you're at the thrift store and you're looking for one specific thing and you find it. And for me, I see it as an energy thing. You have to give to get, donate some good stuff and get some good stuff, with time and just being aware and open eyes. So Mr. Money Mustache and Dave Ramsey, book and blog. Sustainability is not a trend, it's a responsibility. And this is early eco retirement is a responsibility to yourself to be able to take care of yourself and the planet through your actions. Okay, data on unsustainable living, money is spiritual because resources are an effect on your mental. Importance of protecting water sources from pollution. This is not any particular data. This was here when I started the draft of these slides. So in another version, there may be an updated data table right here. Why it matters, climate change, waste crisis, and biodiversity loss. Okay. Did you know going meatless once a week can significantly cut your water and emissions footprint, save more money buying less meat? And I did not know that. However, I do want to bring awareness to being intentional about meat, like the quality of meat and how often meat is ate and what do you need. Is it that you need meat every day? Is it that you want meat every day? Just being able to ask yourself those questions and get honest answers in order to cultivate a diet and menu and groceries and a nourishing lifestyle that isn't over overdoing it, overdoing the meat or overdoing whatever milk or dairy or um greens. I don't know. Maybe not enough or maybe too much, because that can be a thing too. For fruitarians, it can be too much for some people on their body. Money is spiritual. Define the challenge. Sustainable living on a daily basis. Give an idea to who wants to switch. Okay. And then I did read these. Lead by example, share knowledge, join local eco groups. Thank you. So that was, I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna lower my hand. And that was the first presentation of eco retirement. I hope, well, if you did enjoy it, honestly, and wanted the edited version of that PowerPoint, comment green hearts and earth. And I will see you in another video. If you found this helpful, please let me know. That will encourage me to keep refining that PowerPoint. However, if it wasn't as helpful as you thought it was because the PowerPoint was not what you needed, let me know that too. Okay? Bye bye.